9. Miss Meyer is a liar. What? Actually, Emily was right. We did have to do something. If Miss Meyer was going to set the school on fire, a lot of people could get hurt. You think she? No. There was only one thing for us to do. We had to talk to Mr. Klotz. After lunch, the whole gang and I skipped recess, went to Mr. Klotz's office instead. Well, we didn't just go into his office. We snuck down the hallways, ducking into the doorways along the way to Miss Meyer wouldn't see us. Oh my gosh. It was exciting. There was electricity in the air. Well, not really. If there was electricity in the air, we would all be being electrocuted. Look, they're sneaking. They're going doo 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 doo. They're gonna solve the mystery of Miss Myers. That's even worse than catching on fire. We were slinking around like secret agents. Slinking, no slaking. It was cool. Mr. Claus was standing in front of his office talking to some parent. Blah, 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 my daughter, blah, blah, said the parent. Blah, blah, she won't do it again, blah, blah. Blah, blah, thank you, blah, blah, said Mr. Claus, blah, blah, we appreciate your blah, blah. That's a nice conversation. Grown-ups are really boring. After 1,100,000 minutes, the parent finally said goodbye to Mr. Claus and left. What can I do for you, kids? Mr. Claus asked us. Aren't you missing recess? We have an important question we need to ask you, said Andrea. Is Miss Meyer a real firefighter? Said Mr. Claus, scratching his head as if he had any hair up there. We're afraid she's a pyromaniac who kidnapped a real firefighter, I told him. She probably tied him up in an abandoned barn. She's about to set it on fire. Mr. Claus scratching his head again. He must have had a rash or something. Miss Myers told me she was a real firefighter. She looks like a real firefighter. She talks like a real firefighter. I can't be completely sure. Maybe you should ask her to prove that she's not a real firefighter. Yeah, Alexia said. Let's make her prove it. Oh my gosh. Look, he's scratching his head. Not one hair on his head. At least I got some still. Let's continue the story. Yeah, we all agreed. Where is Miss Meyer? Asked Andrea. Oh, she's not here, said Mr. Klotz. Ooh, no. She said she wanted to take the rest of the day off. Oh, no. But the fire chief told her she had to go to the firehouse for an important meeting at 3:15. Important meeting? I said, Miss Meyer is a liar. I bet she didn't even go to the firehouse because she's not a real firefighter. She's a fake. That's when I got the greatest idea in the history of the world. I looked at Ryan. Ryan looked at Neil. Neil looked at Andrea. Andrea looked at Alexia. We were all looking at each other because we all had the same genius idea. Important meeting, 3:15. We get out of school at 3 o'clock. We're gonna spy on Miss Meyer. Oh my gosh. Chapter 10, a real spy mission. Oh boy, it's getting good. As soon as 3 o'clock bell rang, we all ran out of school, gathered in the playground. This was going to be a real spy mission. Okay, let's synchronize our watches. I said, because that's what we always do in spy movies. I don't have a watch, said Ryan. Me neither, said Neil. Actually, I didn't have a watch either. It just sounded cool to say, let's synchronize our watches. I have a watch, said Andrea. It's 5 minutes after 3. Of course, Andrea had a watch. She's probably the only third grader in the world who wears a watch. Okay, I said. The big meeting at the firehouse starts in 10 minutes. Let's go. The firehouse is just 3 blocks from the school. They're gonna run there. We sling down the street like secret agents, ducking into doorways, hiding behind mailboxes along the way, so nobody would see us. It was cool. Finally, we reached the firehouse. There was a giant garage door where the fire trucks drive in and out. I'm scared, said Emily as we lurked next to the door. If Miss Meyer isn't in there, whispered Alexia, that's proof she isn't a real firefighter. And if there's no meeting going on in there, whispered Michael, that means Miss Meyer is a liar. Shh, whispered Andrea, looking at her watch. It's 3:15 right now. We peeked our heads around the wall so we could snoop on what was happening inside the firehouse. Do you see anything? Neil whispered. No, whispered Michael. There's nobody in there. The place is empty. There's nothing going on, whispered Ryan. There's no meeting. That's proof, I whispered. See, I told you Miss Meyer wasn't a real firefighter. She's probably home watching TV and eating bonbons. Bonbons are chocolate ice cream. They're very good. They're all sneaking. Oh my gosh. Shh, whispered Andrea. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Miss Meyer came walking down the street. Well, that's not the amazing part. Miss Meyer probably walks down the street all the time. The amazing part was what happened next. Miss Meyer was coming from the other direction. She didn't see us. Look, whispered Emily. She's going into the firehouse. At that moment, lights started flashing. Sirens started screaming. Bells started ringing. Whistles started blowing. Alarms started sounding. My ears started hurting. It must be a fire, shouted Ryan. We gotta get out of here. But it wasn't a fire. If it was a fire, all the firefighters would have jumped on the fire truck, driven out of the firehouse. Instead, they all jumped out from behind the fire truck and yelled at Miss Meyer, "Surprise!" A giant banner came down from the ceiling. Happy birthday, Miss Meyer. Oh my gosh. It's not a fire, said Michael. It's Miss Meyer's birthday. They're throwing her a surprise party, said Andrea. That's so sweet. Andrea was right, for once in her life, all the firefighters gathered around Miss Meyer. They were hugging her, giving her presents. So I guess she is a real firefighter after all, said Alexia. Well, we had accomplished our spy mission. We're about to turn around and go home. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. What are you doing here, kids? Oh no, Miss Meyer suddenly asked. She has spotted us. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. We're going to wish you a happy birthday, I said. Oh my gosh, who's the liar now? Oh my goodness. Great, said Miss Meyer. You're just in time for my party. Miss Meyer took us inside the firehouse and introduced us to all of the other firefighters. They let us climb on the fire truck, which was really cool. Oh my goodness, we got to pet their fire dog. But the coolest part was when they took us up at the second floor and they let us slide down the fire poles. Oh, I bet that was fun. That was so much fun. Like taking the stairs. I'm going to get my parents to put a fire pole in our house. Can you do that? I want one too. Emily was too scared, but we only have one-story house, so. The rest of us slid down the fire poles 1,000,000 times. Then one of the firefighters wheeled a giant cake. Cake! I love cake! This will make up for the cake I didn't get to eat. My birthday, said Emily. Miss Meyer must be really old because that cake had a lot of candles on it. Two of the firefighters lit them, and then we all sang happy birthday. Let me show you the picture before I turn the page. We're on the last page. Oh my gosh, look at the doggy. I bet that was lots of fun. Sliding down the pole. Make a wish, said one of the firefighters, told Miss Meyer. She closed her eyes. That's then the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. But I'm not going to tell you what it was. Okay, I'll tell you. You have to read the next chapter, so na boo boo on you. Oh my god. Miss Myers gets fired. What? After they threw her a birthday party, she's gonna get fired. Miss Meyer had her eyes closed, so she didn't see what happened next. I did. The banner that said Happy Birthday, Miss Meyer, had been tied to the fire pole on the second floor. I guess it wasn't tied very tightly because it slowly started to slide down. Oh my gosh. It was coming down right over the cake. Oh my gosh. The banner touched the candles on the cake. The candles lit the banner on fire. Look. Oh, a real fire. At the firehouse. Eek! Went all the girls. It's on fire! Shouted Ryan. Call the fire department, I shouted. Wait, this is the fire department? Shouted Andrea. They called the police department, I shouted. The banner was burning up. Everybody started yelling and screaming and shrinking and hooting and hollering, generally freaking out. Help, shouted Neil. Run for your lives. Get the hose. Shouted one of the firefighters. Oh no. The hose is on fire, shouted another firefighter. The firehouse is on fire, I shouted. The banner was going up in flames. Some of the letters had burned up. Instead of reading Happy Birthday, Miss Meyer, all it was left was hair die. Hair die. Get a fire extinguisher, somebody yelled. Miss Meyer is on fire. It was true. Part of the banner had landed on Miss Meyer's pants, and now they were on fire. Stop, drop, and roll, shouted Andrea. Fall and crawl, shouted Alexia. Get low and go, shouted Ryan. Don't hide, go outside, shouted Neil. Toasty brown all around, I shouted. Oh gosh. Look, her pants are on fire. Oh my gosh. That is not funny though. It's a story, but that's not funny if it happens for real. The firefighters squirted that foamy stuff all over Miss Meyer until they put her out. The only problem was, now the cake was on fire. The cake is on fire, somebody shouted. Shoot that cake! It was true. Flames were coming out of the frosting. What's up with that? Whoever heard of a cake that caught on fire? That cake must have been made with gasoline or something. There were sirens screaming, lights flashing, smoke was everywhere. The firefighters were shooting firefighters and hoses all over the place. Everybody was sleeping on goopy cake and falling all over the floor. What a mess. It was hilarious. We got to see it live and in person. Finally, after 1,100,000 minutes, the firefighters put the fires out. We all wished Mr. Myers a happy birthday and left the firehouse. In the end, we didn't get to eat any cake. Again. Man, I hate birthdays. Especially birthday when you don't get to eat any cake. Bummer in the summer. Well, that's pretty much what happened. Maybe next year, crybaby Emily will get to eat some birthday cake. Maybe they'll put trampolines in our class instead of desks. Maybe Mr. Cooper will use his supervision to shoot microwave freezing rays out of his eyes. Maybe we'll eat Mr. Klotz Melon's head. Maybe I'll get to pee on another campfire. Maybe Miss Meyer will stop telling bad jokes. I don't think she's gonna stop. Destroying smoke detectors and jumping out of windows. Maybe they'll start a TV channel where they're just bust stuff all day long. Maybe firefighters will stop naming their children after hoses, like Jose, hose 2, hose B. Maybe my mom will start cutting the crust off my peanut butter jelly sandwiches. I hated the crust too. Did you? Do you hate the crust on the bread? I had to have mine cut when I was little. Yeah. Okay. Let's get on with the story. It's almost over. Okay. Maybe bears will stop running into our school. Maybe I'll melt my face off another one of my action figures. Maybe they'll make smoke detectors in the shape of a nose. That'll be awesome. I'll put them everywhere. Maybe I can talk my parents into putting a fireball in our house. It won't be easy. The end. Why don't they write the end in the stories anymore? I don't know why. See? No, the end. I'm going to write it in. The end. I hope you enjoy Miss Meyer is on fire. And I'm glad she's not on fire anymore. All right. Be safe with fires. And don't start any. And be careful with candles also. Don't leave your candles unattended. All right. I hope you enjoy this series of these chapters. Miss Meyer is on fire. Until my next one. Bye. Be good to mommy and daddy. Very important.